So in this unit circle, we have point P, which is cosine theta comma sine theta. You can see here the angle it makes is theta. And we have another angle, which is P, but reflected over the y equals x axis, which is P, which is cosine pi over 2 minus theta, comma sine pi over 2 minus theta. And this is because if you compare it with the y-axis, the angle that this point makes with the y-axis in a unit circle is also theta, which is the same as the one that the original point makes with the x-axis. And since these 2 points are reflected off of each other over the y equals x axis, this means that the x and y of each point are going to be the same. What that means is these two are going to be the same, and these two are going to be the same. So cosine of pi over 2 minus theta is equal to sine of theta, and sine of pi over 2 minus theta is equal to cosine of theta. And these two identities that you have discovered are known as the complementary angle formula. So the complementary angle formula for cosine is cosine of pi over 2 minus theta equals sine theta, and the complementary angle formula for sine is sine of pi over 2 minus theta is equal to cosine of theta. Now for an example problem, if we have 2 sine theta minus cosine of pi over 2 minus theta, and we want to simplify this as much as we can, we have to use the complementary angle formula for cosine to change cosine of pi over 2 minus theta into sine theta. So if we replace cosine pi over 2 minus theta with sine theta in the original expression, we get 2 sine theta minus sine theta. And then this is just equal to sine theta. And yeah, that's our simplification for this expression. So using the complementary angle formula, we can figure out that 2 sine theta minus cosine of pi over 2 minus theta is equal to sine theta. Now let's do another example. So if we have 3 times cosine of theta minus 4 times sine of pi over 2 minus theta, then I already noticed we can turn the sine of pi over 2 minus theta into cosine of theta. So this will turn into cosine of theta. And remember, since it's multiplied by 4, we need to keep the 4 at the front. And let's write the rest of the expression. Theta minus, and now we can treat the cosine theta as an x. So imagine we have like 3x minus 4x. This is just negative x, and replace x with cosine of theta, and we get negative cosine of theta. And that's our answer. So yeah, it's a pretty easy way to solve this or simplify this expression of 3 cosine of theta minus 4 sine of pi over 2 minus theta simplifies into negative cosine of theta using the complementary angle formula for sine. Now let's do some practice problems. If you think you know how to do this one, then pause the video and try it for yourself. But this problem is asking to simplify cosine of pi over 2 minus theta plus 4 times sine theta. So as we learned, we can turn this cosine of pi over 2 minus theta into sine theta. So let's rewrite that, sine theta, and add the plus for sine theta. And as we can see, there's no more cosine theta, and it's all sine theta. So we can just simplify this into 5 times sine theta. And that's our answer. So using the complementary angle formula, we were able to turn this cosine into a sine and simplify this expression into one thing. Now let's do another practice problem. If you think you know how to do this one, then pause the video and do it. But this problem is asking to simplify sine theta times cosine of pi over 2 minus theta. And again, we can use the complementary angle formula to turn the cosine of pi over 2 minus theta into sine of theta. So let's rewrite the expression doing that. Sine theta times sine theta. And notice how we're multiplying two things together, which means we're squaring one thing, and the one thing is sine theta, so this means this is equal to sine squared theta. And that is our answer. So using the complementary angle formula for cosine, we turn sine theta times cosine of pi over 2 minus theta into sine squared theta. Now let's do another practice problem. If you think you know how to do this one, then pause the video and try it again. But this one is asking to simplify cosine of theta times cosine of pi over 2 minus theta all over sine of pi over 2 minus theta. So first, let's focus on the numerator, the top, and we can turn this cosine of pi over 2 minus theta into sine of theta. So this gives us cosine theta times sine theta over sine of pi over 2 minus theta. And we cannot simplify the top anymore because they're both different operations on theta. They're not both sine or both cosine, they're both different. So we can simplify the bottom now. We can turn sine of pi over 2 minus theta into cosine of theta using the complementary angle formula. So this is equal to cosine of theta times sine theta all over cosine of theta. And we notice that we have both cosine theta on the top and bottom, so we can cancel both of these out and we get sine theta over 1 or just sine theta. And yeah, this is our answer to this. So sine theta is cosine theta times cosine of pi over 2 minus theta all over sine of pi over 2 minus theta simplified. So everything that I explained in this video and all the problems that I explained and went through should teach you everything that I need to know about the complementary angle formula and how to use them in problems such as these. If you learned something from this video or if you enjoyed it, consider liking and subscribing.